Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Seahawk Central News, the top source for UNCW's campus news, entertainment, and sports. I'm Janae Randall.
And I'm Travis Sullivan, filling in for Sarah Lively this week. Remember, you can stay tuned to Seahawk Central News, which is available 24/7 online at tealtv.org.
This episode, we bring you some opinions from some Wrightsville Beach locals about the establishment of a smoking ban. We will also take a new look at New Hanover County's library's annual book sale.
Not only that, but we will also head over to the sports desk with Ben Tyson and the rest of the Seahawks sports team and catch up on the latest movie reviews with Chris Vickery.
Stay tuned because Seahawk Central News starts right now.
Student Government's Diversity Council will hold Breaking Down Hate Week at the end of March. According to the group's Facebook page, Breaking Down Hate is intended to empower people to take an assertive stance against any and all forms of insensitivity, hatred, and intolerance. Two walls will be displayed, a wall of hate and a wall of hope. The wall of hate will save sheets of paper where participants can write words they would like to see broken down in society. These papers will be hidden until the end of the week when students will physically break down the wall. The Wall of Hope will be for students to write thoughts of uplifting and positive sentiment. The Wall of Hope will be up not only during the Breaking Down Hate Week, but also will stand after the week concludes.
Let's go outside and chat with fellow students on Chancellor's Walk. Here is Rachel Nagel with this week's Talk on the Walk.
Attending college is more than just getting an education and forming bonds. It's about discovering yourself and learning more about the world in which we live. Today, we're asking students what the most important lesson is that they've learned outside the classroom. Let's learn with them.
A life lesson I've learned while here at UNCW is life revolves around time management. With playing basketball here and going to class, you got to realize how to manage your schedule with naps and studying and whatnot.
One thing that I've really learned about college is that your friends are going to be the closest people you have here because your family is so far away.
One life lesson I learned while in college was to never give up on something that you truly wanted.
And being true to yourself and accepting others for who they are and just being a good person is going to get you where you need to be.
A life lesson I've learned while being on school is to not procrastinate.
The life lesson that I've learned at UNCW is that what effort you put forth is what results you get back.
Lesson I've learned is time management, how to handle school and all my other activities.
Well, it certainly seems as though the students here at UNCW are getting out exactly what they put into life here on campus. Above all else, we learned that it's important to be yourself and love yourself. I'm Rachel Nagel for Seahawk Central News, Teal TV.
We're pleased to announce that Teal TV will have an exclusive interview with the band members of Gym Class Heroes. You can catch the interview online at the end of this weekend on tealtv.org.
The UNCW Arts and Action Performance Series announces and welcomes the First Person Sing America project. First Person Sing America reviews the beginnings of America through famous photos from the Metropolitan Museum of Art, as well as portraits of the Civil War and Great Depression. In addition, the presentation will be accompanied by traditional music from Ireland and Scotland, performed by Ensemble Galilei. Narration for First Person Sing America will be provided by NPR host Neil Conan and actress Lily Knight. The presentation will be held next Friday, March 30th at 8 p.m. in Keenan Auditorium. Tickets are $22 for the public, however, discounts will be available for students.
You may have seen the pink Hawk It Out t-shirts all over campus and wondered how to get into the dance competition. Tryouts are being held this week and have already taken place in the Seahawk Village Clubhouse and Graham Hewlett Great Room. Tryouts are also being held today, March 22nd, in the Cornerstone Great Room from 7 to 9 p.m. and tomorrow, Friday, March 23rd, in Fisher University Union's Azalea Coast Room. Tryouts in Azalea will be from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Hawk It Out will take place on Thursday evening, April 12th, in Keenan Auditorium.
The New Hanover County Public Library held its biannual spring book sale last weekend, but did they reach their $1 million goal? Let's find out. Here is Ann Christian Johns with the story.
I'm here at the Northeast New Hanover Library during the $1 million book sale. I'm going to talk to Paige Owens, who will tell us why this event is so popular and how our community can get involved.
The Friends of the Library have been putting on this book sale since 1983, And this book sale, we're hoping to hit the $1 million mark in the history of the book sale. The first book sale made $2,306. Our last book sale in the fall made $57,000. Last year we made a total of $117,000. So we're at a total of $945,000, and so we figure $55,000 this sale, and we'll have made $1 million. And yeah, we've had lots of help getting ready for this book sale, and we had some students from UNCW come out and give us a hand, and we appreciate it because the sale attracts people of all ages. There's something for everybody. We have music CDs, we have books on CD, there's some DVDs, even some old VHS, and some record albums. I know some people are into the old LPs, so we get some of those. And then, of course, the regular hardcover, paperbacks. And then at the end of the sale, believe it or not, we still have probably 10,000 books left over, and the Goodwill comes and picks those up. And we do need help at the end of the sale. All those 10,000 books then have to be boxed up and put on pallets for the Goodwill to pick up. And we'll be doing that this Saturday, March 24th from 10 to 2, and we would love to have some students help us out. So anybody that's interested, just drop by here at 10 o'clock on Saturday, and we can definitely put you to work.
As you can see, the Northeast New Hanover Library book sale is a success, as many people make their way out to buy what they may think is the millionth dollar for the book sale. I'm Ann Christian Johns, Seahawk Central News, Teal TV. Back to you in the studio.
Let's switch gears and head over to the sports desk with the latest athletic news. Ben, take it away.
The men's basketball team, along with Sammy the Seahawk, the dance team, the pep squad, and the loyalist of the loyal UNC Wilmington alumni traveled west on 40 and north on 95 until they got to the Richmond Coliseum for the always epic CAA tournament. For the second year in a row, our student media gave Teal TV the amazing opportunity to cover the event. 12 teams, 4 days, 1 champion. The night before the tournament began, Keith Riddleman received the honor of all CAA first team as voted on by coaches, communication directors such as Joe Browning, and media members. Here's the highlights from Game 1 of the 9th-seeded Seahawks versus the 8th-seeded James Madison Dukes.
Early in the first half, that is Gene Swindle, number 44 for JMU, who rocks to the rim and then stares down Dante Morales. Here, Tanner Milson finds Keith Riddleman in the low post for the Deuce. It's good. At the other end of the court, it's Swindle with the bounce pass to A.J. Davis, who throws it up and down for the slam. Here, Shane Rybold gets the rebound and one. And he is celebrated there. Here, Tanner Milson finds Keith Riddleman, top of the block, misses his first attempt, gets the ball back, and puts it back up, showing tenacity on the offensive rebounds. Here, Cedric Williams shows his low post moves. He had 22 and 8 on the day, and there you see 2 of those. Here, Tanner Milson has the seas part for him as Swindle goes to guard Riddleman, and he makes the open jump shot as a good point guard should. Here, Keith Riddleman gets the steal, goes up for the slam. No good. However, he gets his own rebound and kicks it behind the back to Adam Smith, who would be fouled. A timeout was called. This is the media timeout, and Buzz rubbing Adam on the head, saying, hey, don't worry about it. Let it go. We'll get it back. A little nice behind the head pass there by Devon Moore to Humpty Hitchens in the corner for 3. JMU kept it close. The score was 34-25 UNCW at the half. On the Dante Morales miss, it's Cedric Williams with the rebound, scoops it up, kicks it out to Adam Smith, who drains the 3 for the Seahawks. At the other end of the court, Shane Rybold gets the steal, barrels down the court, puts up the layup, no good. Tanner Milson with the tip back, that's good. 2 more points for the Seahawks. Then Adam Smith with the shot clock winding down with Semenov in his face, drains the 3, it's good. Here's Swindle with the jam, and then A.J. Davis would hit the 3. The JMU Dukes tried to make a run late, but UNCW outscored them 36-34 in the second half. Here, Tanner Milson ices it with the reverse Euro step layup. Final score, UNCW 70, James Madison 59.
Cedric Williams led all scorers and rebounders with 22 points and 8 boards in the effort. Keith Riddleman added 14 points, while Adam Smith and Tanner Milson also tabbed in double figures with 12 each. The win gave the Seahawks a ticket inside the Coliseum for Day 2 versus the number 1-seeded Drexel Dragons. Led by Coach of the Year, Bruiser Flint, David Sorensen has all the action from the quarterfinals matchup versus the Dragons.
Fouch with a little and one. Basketball, the hoop, and the harm. Tanner Milson answers right back with the kiss off the glass. That's good. ×2 for 3. Give them all 3 of these. Cedric Williams with the pull-up jumper. That's good. Dragons answer Mr. Fouch for 3. That's good. Dante Morales with the step-in jumper. Tanner Milson kicks it ahead on the fast break to Dante Morales, is scooping the score. Seahawks looking good with another mid-range jumper. Rendleman gets on the board. Adam Smith with the dipsy-do. And for three, swishes the net. Rendleman struggled on the day with 0 rebounds.
Keith, can you ever recall a game in college, high school, little league, rec league where you didn't have a rebound?
No, not at all. This is probably the first game I've ever had like that.
First team All-CAA Franz Massat for 3. Sammy Givens, second team, smooth points in the paint. Milson answers coast to coast, dribble, drive, pull up, pop, 3. Fouch answers with the running floater, nice ball fake. Bob Knight would be very proud of him. Morales answers in the corner for 3. Massat drives in with the dipsy-do, and he sticks it in. Adam Smith, stop, pop, open up shop. Damian Lee, rookie of the year with the up and under, gets into the action. Milson stays hot, 4-3, it's good. Unfortunately, this 3 came up short, as did the Seahawks, losing 59-47.
I think the biggest thing is physicality. Just hit the weights, get stronger, work on my left hand, my point guard skills, and just keep improving on whatever I do well.
Great job, Dave. The Seahawks finished the year 10-21 and look forward to improving even more next year in Rendleman's senior season. The baseball team opened conference play on Friday, March 9th at home against the defending CAA champions, the James Madison Dukes. Ariel Lapid brings you the highlights from Game 1.
First run of the game was nabbed by JMU in a series of unfortunate events. First here, a throwing error advancing JMU's McInturf to second. And then, what do we have here? A case of the slippery fingers. Farber at bat, singling to the right center, and it is the bottom of the second, and here is UNCW's first hit. Play continues in the second with a nice but unlucky double play here by the Dukes. And it's top of the third, and here's a home run by Evan Scott, helping build JMU's 5-0 lead after 3 innings. Another run here by the Dukes, but the Seahawks make a comeback, scoring 4 runs apiece in the 4th and 5th, ultimately winning 10-7.
Thanks, Ariel. Duking it out in a 3-game conference opener for both teams, UNCW sweetened the series with a sweep, 10-7, 8-7, and 14-3. The defending CAA champions were outplayed as the Seahawks recorded a season high in hits and runs in the series. The Seahawks then traveled south to play at the College of Charleston on March 13th. William Prince didn't start, but struck out 6 Cougars to get the win for the Seahawks. Tyler DeLoach picked up his first save of the year, striking out 4 batters in 2 innings. 6-3 was the final in that one, and then the team traveled to the University of Delaware for a 3-game set this past weekend. In Game 1, the Diamond Hawks picked up a 22-3 victory over the Blue Hens. Every batter scored a run and earned a hit, and standouts Matt Campbell, Tyler Molinaro, Andrew Kane, Luke Dunlap, and shortstop Jake Koenig each hit a home run in the victory. On Saturday, the Seahawks lost 3-2 thanks to a 3-run homer by Delaware's Alex Marari. In Game 3 on Sunday, Chad Kuhl struck out 10 for the Blue Hens, but it wasn't enough as the Seahawks cruised to a 7-0 victory. Jordan Ramsey picked up the win, throwing 5 2/3 innings, allowing 7 hits and 0 runs. The Seahawks improved to 5-1 in conference and 9-10 overall. The Colonial Athletic Association named freshman designated hitter Corey Dick co-rookie of the week from March 11th through the 18th. He batted .455, slugged .818, and had a .600 on-base average in the week. He also had 4 runs and 3 runs batted in throughout the week. Moving on to the women's basketball team, who beat the Georgia State Panthers in back-to-back games 11 days apart. First was the regular season finale and senior night at Trask Coliseum. The Lady Seahawks beat the Panthers 64-54 in that one. The Hawks then traveled up to Maryland for the CAA Women's Basketball Championship and beat the Panthers again in the opening round, this time 66-59. The next day, the Seahawks won their quarterfinal matchup against the Lady Pride of Hofstra 94-87. Abria Trice scored a career-high 33 for UNCW as the team scored its most points in a contest since a 100-51 shellacking of Long Island 4 days before Christmas in 1997. Coach Cooper Dyke and company then went into battle with the nation's leading scorer, Elena Deladon, and the Delaware Blue Hens in the semifinals, looking to avenge 2 previous losses to the Blue Hens this season. Unfortunately, the third time was not the charm for the Seahawks, who lost 36-66 against the eventual conference champions. So it was on pins and needles that the team waited to find out if their season would continue, and continue it would. The Seahawks were invited to host a game in the women's NIT for the 2nd year in a row. First up on the bracket for the Seahawks were the Mountaineers of Appalachian on the Ides of March. Trey Owings has a report. Trey, take it away.
Thanks, Ben. For the 2nd season in a row, the Lady Seahawks have made it to the Women's National Invitational Tournament. Seahawks now get a chance at continuing their season against Appalachian State in the first round. Now, let's see how the Lady Seahawks answered the Lady Mountaineers challenge.
Jessica Freeman with the first highlight of the night drains the 20-foot jumper. However, Kate Mallow from App State responds with a big 3 of her own. But Tawana Lee would answer for the Seahawks with her own tray from the corner. UNCW, getting a little help from the ref, escapes the foul as Bria Trice nails the long 2. Then comes back for seconds off of the Freeman assist. Freeman and Trice would connect again on the steal from Freeman as Trice pulls up for the easy jumper. Trice again dominating the highlight reel with the long 3 from the Seahawk bench. However, Raven Gary would respond with their own big 3 from the top of the arc. Coach Cooper Dyke obviously has been hanging out with Coach Buzz Peterson a little too much, as she expresses several of her concerns to the head referee before being escorted back to her own bench. Alicia Andrews had been quiet for most of the night, turns the ball over, but showing a little hustle, intercepts the pass and recovers for the Seahawks. Kanisha Garrett with her first of the night, the hard and 1 foul. Here we see a 3 missed by Andrews, but recovered by Freeman, who dishes it off to Trice for the layup. On the final possession, Maria Snyder misses the free throw, rebounded by Garrett, who dishes it off to Andrews. Andrews takes it the length of the court, misses a desperation 3, and Freeman rebounds for the Mountaineers, dishes it off to Kanisha Edwards, who gives a soft pass to Kelsey Sharkey, who finishes the night.
The Lady Seahawks lost a heartbreaker to Appalachian State. Sophomore guard Bria Trice paced the team offensively with 23 points and 7 rebounds as she shot 75% from the floor. Poor possessions and several dry spells gave the Lady Mountaineers the lead as they went on to win 79-73. This is Trey Owings with Seahawks Central News, Teal TV.
The Seahawks finished the season 20-13 and will go into the year 2013 with a lot to be proud of and look forward to, thanks to the emergence of Bria Trice and Tawana Lee as go-to scorers. In track and field news, the relay team of Ryan O'Connor, Bob Vanderham, Connor Brooks, and Will Zarodny broke their own year-old record in the 4x800 relay in the opening day of the Shamrock Invitational on the day prior to that Irish holiday. On day 2 of the Invitational, Bob Vanderham won the 800 meters, Valerie Affram won the long jump, and Ariel Chapman won the triple jump. Sophomore Mina Reed also broke her own school record by 1/100th of a second in the 100 meters. Well, that's all for this episode. Only 2 left until graduation. Until next time, I'm Ben Tyson. Keep on keeping on.
As the 2012-2013 student government elections are quickly approaching, Teal TV invited the candidates for UNCW Student Government Association's president and vice president into the studio tonight to discuss and debate issues relating to the UNCW student body. Without further ado, here is Jill Capodanno with this year's SGA candidates. Jill.
I'm here with the following candidates for the 2012-2013 SGA elections: Adam Webb, Keith Frazier, Caitlin LaLuz, and Will Taylor. We will initiate a variety of questions to help prompt discussion to see each candidate's strengths for the UNCW student body. The first question is directed towards Will and Caitlin. I would like you to first specify the position that you're running for, and please tell me the main points of your platform and what separates you from your opponents.
Thank you so much. My name is Will Taylor, and I'm running for student body president.
And I'm Caitlin LaLuz, and I'm running for student body vice president.
We, for our platform, we have 5 main points. One of our first points is basically student advocacy and student innovations. And a lot of things that would be involving is, with the rising tuition and everything, we would be closer to the students and trying to make them through the decision-making processes and trying to help them out with those situations. And when if they are very disgruntled or disagree with it, we would work together with them trying to find a solution involving that. And then for, I guess, student innovations, we're just things to improve the campus in general. We want the students to be upfront with us, to talk to us originally, and then we will go and give them they'll give us concerns, and then we'll reply back to them. Things that may include is water bottle refill stations in places, upgrading campus life in general. I know a lot of people will mention bike lanes and Chancellor's Walk. We'll try to find ways to fix that, even if it's not even bike lanes, but just a way to have less traffic on Chancellor's, or even dining. We're there for them to talk to them about this stuff and then make the campus life all better.
There's also student transparency, which just means being more visible, and that's been a platform point for many student body presidents and vice presidents before, but there hasn't been that much improvement, and we're really looking forward, if we get this position, to work on that and going out and really not only doing the internal work, which is a lot of what the vice president and the president do, but really going out to the students, to Chancellor's Walk, to organizations and club meetings, and talking to them about what they can do and how they can get funding and things like that from SGA, because a large part of what we do is allocate money to student organizations to go to trips or have programs on campus.
And also another thing we're also looking at is scholarship, and this is a thing I've been looking at myself. You know, with definitely rising tuition costs and with book prices lately, some students aren't able to afford some of the things that are happening around college campuses. So myself, and hopefully, you know, if I am elected, I'm gonna work with the University Advancement, work with financial aid and scholarship, and work with much of the administration about maybe possible things involving scholarship. Maybe we can increase scholarship around campus, work with them, maybe ways that students can get more financial aid and everything. And actually, SGA itself has this SGA scholarship, which we have one right now currently, and it's given to people who do apply for it. My goal is maybe to endow it by my term, and also expand it. Maybe have more than just one scholarship, because the more students we can help, the better campus life, which I hope for, gets better.
And our last point is sustainability. This past year, actually a few months ago, we installed a water bottle refill station in the library. The previous year, more than two actually, were in the campus life facilities. And also this past Monday, we worked with Campus Dining to ban the bag campaign, and it's just getting rid of plastic bags in the retail locations because they're not really utilized, and it's just a waste for the environment. So working with the recycling center and things like that, and getting that spread out and getting that known to the student body that it's there for you, and there's more than one way to recycle, and just keep on with that platform and install more water bottle refill stations across campus and housing and things like that.
And I guess there's a difference between us and the other candidates. Like I said, you guys, they are great leaders. They would be great members if they were president and vice president. We believe we would bring something different to the table. Ours is I'm more of a student advocate. I want to be with the students and the people in campus. My goal is to let the students be part of the decision-making process. Not only do we want, you know, the active students, the students are different, you know, the everyday student. We want students that voice has been small for the last couple of years. Like the non-traditional students of different things that are, different involvements, different majors, the smaller majors, anyone in general. Our goal is to talk to every student and be more, student-friendly for everything.
Okay, well, same question to your opponents. Please state what position you're running for and your platform and what separates you from your opponents.
Well, my name is Keith Fraser, and I'm running for Student Body President.
And my name is Adam Webb. I'm running for Student Body Vice President. And we divided our platform based on the divisions of UNCW, the academic, student life, and business affairs. So I'll go ahead and talk about academic because I'm academic affairs chair. So a few things that we want to go ahead and work on next year are we want to work on Randall. Some outlets have been kind of mentioned as a issue, and we want to work to get more outlets in the library, and I've been working closely with the library this year, so hopefully we can get that done. Another thing I want to work on is the bookstore. Caitlin and I are actually on the bookstore committee to either renew the contract or look at another contract. So that hopefully, and I know books are, the book prices are always an issue for every student. And we're going to try to fix that as much as we can and look at the different proposals that we can get and maybe lower those.
I serve as the Student Affairs Chair, so I'll talk about the Student Affairs portion of our platform. One thing we want to look at is end computing in campus life facilities. One of the major concerns for students within the Fisher Student Center and Fisher Student Union is the lack of speed in the desktops with the iPrints. So helping get the end computing to speed up that process. Also working and partnering with athletics. Obviously, school spirit is always a conversation that students have at UNCW. I mean, I believe that we have a lot of school spirit, but what can we do to increase that? What can we do to help increase participation at athletic events? So 2 ideas that we'd like to bring to the table is having a Feel My Teal event for spring sports and also looking at painting the town teal with interest for alma mater. So that's the student affairs aspect of our platform.
And for business affairs, UNCW has always kind of set itself apart in sustainability. And one thing we want to look at is water bottle refill stations. SGA kind of started this initiative with putting 2 in the Student Life Center and Union. So, and Caitlin actually got one in the library this year.
They're in the rec center as well, correct?
Yes, correct.
Yes.
SGA wasn't a part of that, but UNCW is kind of supporting that. And we want to expand that if we can. I know it's been looked at to put it on housing and other parts of campus. So we definitely want to look into that and try to increase that sustainability that UNCW tries to promote.
And in addition to our platform with those 3 points, one thing we really want to focus on is enforcing communication between the student body and the senior administration. Over the last year, we have a new chancellor, we have a new provost coming in, which is second command, the chief operating officer of the university. So one thing we want to make sure is that the concerns the students have for UNC Wilmington are being streamlined and advocated for by the student government. I know there's, with the different change of leadership, student government needs to remain strong and consolidate those concerns. So I think that's like a 4th and final aspect of our platform that we're definitely going to work on if the privilege of us being elected next year. And to answer your second part of your question about what sets us apart, like Will said, we've worked together for the last 2 to 3 years, so it's been amazing working with all of us, and they're great leaders as well. But I think for me, I think what sets me apart is my breadth of experience and how I've gone in depth with that. Working in campus activities involvement center as a service area manager, working in transition programs as an orientation leader and as a Seahawk link, and then in student government as a student affairs chair. It's been amazing to have leadership positions and running staff meetings or running committee meetings, having peer-to-peer accountability, working with freshmen. I think ultimately next year I'd like to challenge myself, and I believe this is the next step. So.
And for me, I'm an RA in the crossing, and I'm also in men's 1 and 4, so I definitely like to be involved, and I want to increase that involvement in every area. So I'm running for student body vice president to increase that involvement, and I think what sets me apart is my organization. And I definitely am kind of type A when it comes to organization, and that's very important when you're running the Senate and getting members to go out there and talk to students and just making sure SGA runs as well as it can, the most efficient way it can. So.
Thank you so much for coming in and talking with me today. Voting begins March 26th at 8 a.m. and is open through Thursday, March 29th at 5 p.m. To vote, log on to uncw.edu/SGA. I'm Jill Capodanno. Back to you in the studio.
Iron Man 3 is already slated to start filming in Wilmington this coming summer, but another star-studded film has begun shooting in our area. According to the Star News Online, writers began filming in Wilmington area on March 12th. The movie features Greg Kinnear, Jennifer Connelly, Kristen Bell, Patrick Schwarzenegger, and Stephen King, among others. The movie will film mostly in the Wrightsville Beach area, but Writers marks the feature directorial debut of Josh Boone, who also wrote the original screenplay.
Wrightsville Beach is once again attempting to establish a smoking ban. Yet, despite the great community support backing the proposed ban, many locals are still in opposition. Here's Logan Spaller with more on the story.
I am here at the Wrightsville Beach Public Safety Building, where a hearing is taking place on the issue of whether or not smokers should be allowed to smoke on the beach. This issue was previously looked at in May 2010, where the Alderman Board had voted against this law with a 3-2 vote, mainly because of an inability to enforce it. Now, 2 years later, Wrightsville Beach is taking another look.
Since August of 2010, my family and I have begun doing 20-minute beach cleanups at Wrightsville Beach. We take 20 minutes out of our time at the beach and we clean up. We have done 122 non-consecutive 20-minute beach cleanups and have removed 40,827 cigarette butts from the sands of Wrightsville Beach.
I worry that as we approach the beach season, that we are setting ourselves up for failure with our police department. There is no way that they can effectively keep poop cleaned up. They can't keep cigarettes off the loop. They can't keep cigarette butts off the beach.
I think it would have been a good step in the right direction to pass the resolution or the ordinance. You know, I think I'm always a firm believer is that you lead by example, and it would have set a precedent for other beaches to go, wow, wait a minute, this is one of the most littered items in the world. It's the most disgusting habit in the world. I mean, they have so many toxins. They're all made out of plastic fibers, and it takes forever for them to biodegrade. If they do, it's many, many years. They get into our wildlife, our fish, our ecosystems. So it can't be good. It's not a natural substance.
Personally, I don't smoke, but I think anybody who's outdoors should be allowed to smoke if they want to.
Yeah, I agree with her. I don't smoke either, but it is the beach. It's public. I understand maybe like from entrances where everybody is and hanging out, but on the beach you can't really smell it and it's not really in your way.
It should have been implemented just to keep the beaches clean. And I'm a smoker.
I can understand why the controversy is there. I feel like the main issue is littering and trash, and it's so easy for cigarette butts to be buried in the sand and thrown in the ocean. If they had more places to dispose of, like these right here, dispose of cigarette butts, then maybe it wouldn't be as much of an issue.
After today's hearing, the Alderman Board once again voted against the ban with a 3-2 vote, mainly because of the inability to enforce it. Those who were in support of the ban say they were in complete outrage by the board's decision and say they will continue to fight for their cause. Until next time, I'm Logan Spaller, Seahawk Central News, TLTV.
Now's the time where we get to the latest big screen updates and critics on campus. Here's your host, Chris Vickery.
Thanks, Travis. Welcome everyone to Critics on Campus, where we review the latest movies in the Wilmington area. I'm your host, Chris Vickery, alongside my co-host for the day, Caleb Ward. Caleb, as always, we did 2 movies this week, the first of which was The Lorax, a movie adapted from the Dr. Seuss book. And it's about a boy trying to find the last remaining tree in a world that is built essentially out of plastic. And the CG looks really beautiful. It's from the makers of Despicable Me. Pretty fun movie overall, but what did you think of this one?
I actually really enjoyed this one. You didn't have to take yourself away. It was something you could just kind of sit down and enjoy for a little while. You know, a fun little Saturday morning movie. It was beautiful, yeah, and it definitely had a lot of aspects that Despicable Me did, along with, you know, the tiny characters and the cute little jokes here and there. But overall, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, and it had the same voice of the Minions was
the little bears,
woodland creatures, and they were hysterical. Yeah. Easily the funniest part of the movie.
Absolutely, they stole it.
The story is simple,
yes.
very
politically conscious. Yeah, very politically conscious with the whole environmental scale. Very, you know, talking about how, you know, you don't need to go outside. You know, why would you want to do that? Trees are dirty. You know.
Yeah, and the crux of the film is that some billionaire is selling everyone canned air.
Canned air, yeah.
Which is very satirical and very pointed.
Yeah.
But a lot of fun, and there are some musical numbers in there that are pretty fun to kind of rock out to.
Numbers, yeah.
And it's a movie that you don't have to work for. You don't have to work for the laughs. You don't have to work for the entertainment.
It's fun
you
for
can
adults
just sit
and
there
for kids.
and
it's
take
just
it.
Kinda, yeah.
You know, being a kid's movie, there are some awkward moments where the laughs don't quite reach the adult audience.
Not entirely.
But that's something that we've kind of become used to in a kid's movie. They're not on the level of Pixar yet.
No, not yet. That's the problem, is that they're trying to get to where Pixar is. But I think they're making it.
They're making headway for sure. But out of 5 stars, what would you give this one?
I'd give this one a 3.
Yeah, it's a solid 3. It's a movie you can go and enjoy with the family, with other friends. Yeah. It's something that's good for a weekend flick.
Exactly.
The other movie that we did is also based on a book, a novel by Edgar Rice Burroughs called The Princess of Mars. This is John Carter from Disney. It's like their 3rd live action.
I'm trying to remember exactly.
Or big budget or not the 3rd, but definitely their 3rd.
It's definitely
franchise.
their first big budgeted live action film in quite a while.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that they're looking back and starting to regret some decisions that they've made there. And actually, this one was from a book which was published actually in 1912, 100 years ago now, and it's finally being turned into a movie. And I wonder what Burroughs would think about it. What do you think?
You know, it's a movie that really aspired to be a great epic piece for children and adults alike.
And that's not an easy task.
It's not an easy task. And it's something that, because the director, Andrew Stanton, is originally from Pixar, and you would expect him to be able to pull something like that off. He didn't. There were a lot of awkward story moments. There were a lot of awkward acting moments. And it just had too many problems to wrap it up into one single one, but it made it hard to enjoy the film.
It had a lot of aesthetic problems. You've got a CG director attempting to make a live action film, and that's definitely not easy. But you see movies like Mission Impossible 4 with Brad Bird, and you know it is possible for Pixar people to create a good live action film. But this film is just lacking.
Yeah, and if you can make it through the first 30 minutes, I think you can enjoy the film. You can turn your brain off and kind of go along for the ride.
Yeah.
But that's asking a lot. So, but out of 5 stars, what would you give this one?
I'd give this one a 2.
I would have to give this one a 2 as well. Not quite as enjoyable, but something you could still enjoy if you wanted to check it out.
It's fun for kids, but if you're trying to put it on the bigger, high-scale sci-fi film, it's definitely not up there.
Definitely. Once again, that's all for this week's reviews. This segment was brought to you by Carmike Cinemas. Stay tuned next time for more reviews of the latest movies coming to the big screen. Once again, I'm your host, Chris Vickery, alongside Caleb Ward. See you next time.
The best-selling author Charles C. Mann is rescheduled to speak at UNC Wilmington. Mann, who was originally scheduled to appear on campus earlier this month, will speak next Tuesday, March 27th in Doble Hall, room 134. Mann, whose best-selling books are 1491 and 1493, will address the topic Uncovering the New World Columbus Created. A book signing will follow the lecture, which is open and free to the public.
The Spring 2012 Education Job Fair was held over spring break on Monday, March 12th in the Birdie Center. Those majoring or interested in education were welcome to attend and were able to meet representatives from nearly 20 school districts in North Carolina. The events at the fair began with a principal and district human resources panel, followed by a students and school districts networking reception. The event concluded with the Education Job Fair.
Let's check up with Laurel Servicki for this weekend's weather and activities update. Laurel.
Welcome back, Seahawks. I hope you had a lovely spring break. Spring weather has reached Wilmington. Let's see what's in store for this weekend. On Friday, you can expect sunny skies with a high of 78 and a low of 60. For Saturday, you'll see partly cloudy skies with a high of 78 and a low of 58. And for Sunday, we'll have scattered thunderstorms with a high of 75 and a low of 55. Moving on to the weekend events. Friday, you can cool off watching Sherlock Holmes 2 in Lumina Theater. Showtimes are at 7 and 10. Saturday, you can take part in the Seahawk Challenge course from 1 to 5 and the climbing clinic from 5 to 7. Also on Saturday, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo will be showing in Lumina Theater at 8 o'clock. On Sunday in Lumina Theater, Angels in America will be showing. From Part 1 will be at 3 p.m. and Part 2 will be at 7 p.m. I hope you all had a great weekend. Back to you, Janae and Travis.
Thanks, Laurel. Teal TV will be holding lead anchor auditions this Tuesday at 6 p.m. in Lucy Hall Studio, room 125. Anyone interested in auditioning is welcome to attend.
Thanks, Travis. That's all for this episode of Seahawk Central News. Be sure to stop by tealtv.org to catch each episode of Seahawk Central News. Until next time, I'm Janae Randall.
And I'm Travis Sullivan, saying so long, Seahawks.